You ever feel like you just need to dig into something and throw a bunch of crap around? Goats do, just in case you don't know. The goats definitely feel like that. Well, I have a manure spreader in here. This side of the barn's falling down anyways. But basically, what I want to do is drag out this manure spreader, go ahead and try to oil it down and use it. We're going to be using it on that field project that I've been having going on. They haven't been disking for years or plowing it for years. And of course, all the chaff and everything that comes out of the back end of the combine got laid down on the ground and never came back out. It never got swept up or put back into the ground or anything like that. So what I'm going to do is jump on the tractor. I think I've cleared a path big enough for this. We're going to hook onto this and see if we can yank it out of the barn. Sounds like fun. Let's see what we can do. So like I was saying, this old manure spreader, it's been inside this barn for quite a while. My father's, it stays here on the farm. It's a New Holland spreader. I think it hasn't been used in about 5-ish years. Obviously, a little bit worse for wear in some things. But what we're going to be using it for is taking all that stuff that I ricked up back there on the field, and I want to basically back it up to a hole that's randomly in my property and start stuffing that hole to do some filler work with. So what we're going to end up doing is we're going to end up taking some used car oil or used oil from the Ferguson. We're going to be spraying it on these chains as it runs over and idle, and we're going to attach this to the Ferguson, and then we're going to use my loader to load up all that chaff and everything inside this and use the both tractors to work with each other. But the cats are wondering what happened. They've always lived around this. They've never seen this move out of the barn. So the cats have a lot of questions. I'm sure my wife will too once she gets home. But anywho, let's get to it. We got our manure spreader out. Got it hooked up to the Fergie here. Did have to put a drawbar attachment in between the 3-point attachment arms, and then I actually went to Rule King, got some stabilizer arms. That way the 3-point can't sway back and forth, because what we're going to be doing is we're going to be going out in the field behind this barn, and we're going to be loading up the manure spreader with all the chaff and silage that came out of that field, and we're filling in and making basically a ramp to come out of the backside of my barn to be able to drive right into that field. Now that there's a huge ditch that been slowly filling up with my other tractor, the Roll King, it's an RK25. We've been using that to get all the chaff inside of here, and then all the piles that were near that ditch already, I just scooped them up and threw them inside that ditch already. But we're going to take this thing out there, get some time-lapse shots of loading it up, throwing stuff around. One thing I do want to be cautious about, and I learned this the hard way already, don't ask me how. So if you don't know how a manure spreader works, basically you would load manure inside of here, and there's these bars on these chains that you can see dangling down here, and they go click, 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 and it feeds whatever's inside this trailer all the way back to the spreader version of this. These bars all the way back here. As this spins, it kicks the manure out and spreads it what's typically across the field to help fertilize a field. Well, what's in fields that I didn't really think about the first time that I tried this? Rocks. So, if you see me get off the tractor while the manure spreader is running, the reason for that is there might be rocks within those piles and I don't know about it. And there's no boulders per se, but last time I was out there, there was about a softball sized rock. And that implement does not care if it's in there or not. It's spreading it. And sometimes it spreads it this way instead of that way. So need to be cautious with that. I went ahead and closed up that end of the barn because we're kicking up so much dust. I've already dusted everything inside of here. I want to keep it less dusty. So I'm going to set up a couple cameras, get a couple different time lapses going, and get this going and fill up that hole. Another thing that I did already back there in that area was I chopped down some trees to make a wider path. Again, the end goal is to be able to pull all the way through to the field. The reasoning for that, every time we've pulled implements or anything else in my entire life of being around this barn, you could never go out the back doors without taking a sharp turn. You always had to back everything inside of here, especially really long trailers. The end goal is to be able to pull all the way through, and if you had to, you could go out into the grass field, make a U-turn, and come back up and leave my property. So hopefully we get that going. But anywho, let's go ahead, get this thing fired up, get you guys all set up, and see if we can spread some stuff. You'll have to forgive me, I don't have my microphone on me. But I want to show you guys, this is what I'm talking about. These rocks like this, getting kicked up in that spreader. I don't really want to be stoned to death. So, we're definitely going to avoid using rocks like that. I'll have to bring John Deere Gator out here or something and pick them up and then dump them. But set you up on a time lapse here. Go ahead, start loading up this manure spreader, and might get a little bit dusty. I'm going to turn these jeans into khakis, but what I'm going to do, go ahead, pop in some earbuds, turn on my audiobook, get this going.
Sun and a rumbling sea, the spread is rolling steady beat. Got a ditch blocking where I roam, gonna lay it down and make a road back home. Spread it wide, let it lay, filling that ditch in my own farm way. Covered in dust, but my heart feels sure, building a path to the back 4 acres. Bending low, tossing feet of rocks clear. Hands are sore, but the way's coming near. Neighbors laugh when they see my load, my boots, rocks off the field. That's how a farmer paves his yield.
All right, this is a closer look at what we've been trying to do here. Trying to make this ramp back here, the back, basically 4 acres. My first time actually walking on it. And it's actually pretty solid. But basically, it's making a giant ramp come out here. Don't know if you can see it all the way back there, but the Ferguson's back there with the manure spreader on it. Actually looks pretty good since it's been rinsed off, all the dust and everything. Still have a little bit more to pick up back there, but it's actually looking really good. Gonna have to forgive the wind, but this is actually packing down really nice. Gives me something solid to work with here, and it'll come up to the back entrance of my barn, which will end up being pretty nice. And everything's getting washed off from all the dust and everything that we've been kicking up. I'm going to do a little bit of tree trimming there, that side of that, make that a nice, basically, pathway to go out to the field. All right, now that we've had about half an inch of rain or so, get to see what all these time lapses were about. Right now, you guys are standing right at the doorway to my barn, and gives us a path going straight out. Used to that you had to sit here and make quite a big turn, or tight turn, I'm sorry, to get out of the barn, but I'd like a straight shot back there to the field. And all that chaff and everything being in with the dirt actually sort of treated it like concrete. It, where I laid it down with the manure spreader, it actually mixed in the dirt a lot with the chaff and made it stay where I put it. The rain didn't just come in and wash it away instantly. Is it done? No, not by any means, but I believe this video is done with this project. I might give you guys an update video here after I get some more progress with this and make it a little bit smoother of a ramp. I have about, let's say, half the field worth of chaff still back there that I could probably do something with and make this a little bit better. But even today, it's supposed to rain some more. I'm hoping that it sits here and compacts this a little bit more and gets everything settled down into that ditch. Again, this used to go from a ditch and then go straight up and then straight back down, sort of like a kicker type of ramp. There was no way that you were going to drive any vehicles through that area. So this is amazing. I can fit basically a dump truck through there if I really needed to, but right now, not everything's settled enough to drive that dump truck on there. I can drive the tractor without sinking. I can drive my gator, the golf cart, whatever, through there without sinking. It's just going to be a little bit of a rough ride right now. I have to use the loader and the rake, smooth it out a little bit more after it gets a little bit more compact, and also do the tree trims and everything. That way we're not raking tree limbs across whatever we're driving through there. But I'm very happy with what's happening here. And next year, I'll probably make a video about it also. But next spring, I will use a spreader and spread grass seed all over there. Probably whip out the manure spreader again. I grew up on a horse farm. It's about 3/4 of a mile down the road from here. It might be a lot of trips over a weekend, but basically use that manure spreader and a spreader of seed spreader, and go ahead and plant that back field with grass seed and get it going again. But I think that's going to conclude it for this video. Thank you for dealing with all the time lapses. Hopefully some of the AI songs at least made them enjoyable, let's say. But I very happy with our results. I want to thank you for watching these videos with me. Of course, I gotta say the YouTube things. If you could comment, like, subscribe, that'd be amazing. I'm starting off these YouTube series. I've been enjoying showing you guys what I've actually been doing. It's actually been forcing me to do more things around the farm instead of just sit on the couch and watch some TV. The next coming videos are going to basically be preparing for winter. I got some wood to split, show you how I store those. I use IBC tote cages, stuff like that. And during the winter, projects will probably slow down, but we'll see how that goes. So thank you guys very much for going on this journey with me. And I think that's enough for rambling. It's cold out here. It dropped 30 degrees. I'm getting old. Talking about the weather. Jeez.